Are you familiar with this feeling that arises when you walk down a dark corridor? The feeling you have when the lights go out in the room behind you. The feeling that someone or something is right there, behind your back, slowly approaching you. Well, no matter what you do, never look back. My name is Tyler, and I just turned 20. I worked as a security guard in a small office in a disadvantaged area. They sell paper or something like that. I didn't really pay attention to the other people there. During the day, I usually sat at the door checking on everyone who came in and out. It was a pretty quiet job, and she helped me pay for my evening school. My usual working hours were confined to daylight, and I seldom stayed at the office past 6 p.m. However, on a specific occasion, my supervisor approached me, requesting a late shift due to the sudden departure of the night guard, citing unforeseen circumstances, the nature of which remained unclear. Despite my initial reluctance, I agreed, making it clear that it would be a one-time arrangement. The task at hand seemed straightforward: secure the premises, confine myself to the main office, and unwind. Easy, right? Yet, simplicity proved elusive. I was handed a document outlining a succinct set of instructions, just 4 in total. Ensure the doors in the main room are locked promptly after everyone departs, but no later than midnight. Proceed down the west corridor and secure all doors, with the exception of door number 6, which must remain unlocked. Subsequently, pivot without moving for a duration of 10 seconds, irrespective of any external stimuli. Following this pause, reorient yourself towards the corridor. Initiate a forward movement, taking a step each second. Resist the urge to glance backward. Never glance backward. Subsequently, proceed to the main office. Take cover beneath the table facing the entrance and remain in concealment until door number 6 is shut. Depart at 6:30 in the morning. Leave the front door unlocked, but ensure the gate is secured. Initially, everything unfolded in a routine manner. Uncertain whether it was a practical joke on account of my newcomer status, the execution, if intended as a prank, was remarkably convincing. I found myself gripped by an overwhelming sense of fear. The instructions were remarkably precise, bordering on unsettling. I found myself contemplating the repercussions of deviating even a second from the specified timing. What if I exceeded or fell short? And what if I missed the 6:30 deadline? The collective effect was undeniably eerie, leaving me with an unnerving sense of the unknown. Despite my attempts to dismiss these thoughts, I couldn't shake the uncertainty. I focused intently on the instructions, determined to comprehend them thoroughly before the night shift to avoid any missteps. As the clock struck 11 in the evening, the majority of people began dispersing. Cleaners and late-working colleagues offered their good wishes, leaving me to ponder the significance of their sentiments. Why did they wish me luck? It was just one night. There shouldn't be anything extraordinary about it. Nonetheless, I aimed to remain vigilant. At 1:15 to midnight, I resolved to secure the main room and navigate the corridor, diligently adhering to the directive to lock all doors and leave door 6 ajar. Understood. Turn around and await the prescribed 10 seconds. I initiated the mental countdown. 1, 2, a noticeable shift in temperature. 3, 4, a chill enveloped the surroundings, accompanied by an unexpected knock on the door. 5, it began to creak open. 6, then I sensed it, an almost tangible presence breathing down my neck. 7, 8, the instinct to flee surged, but the instructions echoed in my mind. I had to remain stationary. 9, 10. I pivoted and proceeded down the corridor, adhering to the directive to take a step every second. My heart pounded relentlessly, and a pervasive chill seized my entire body. My hands grew numb. Despite the overwhelming fear threatening to engulf me, I pressed on, navigating the seemingly interminable corridor. I distanced myself from whatever lurked behind, yet an eerie sensation persisted, as if unseen eyes were fixated on my every step. There existed no barrier between myself and whatever ominous presence lingered. The possibility of its ability to end me right there and then seemed undeniable. Although I couldn't discern its nature, an unsettling unease surrounded its presence. Midway through, an awareness of its proximity struck me. Passing the fire extinguisher, I glimpsed the creature's reflection in the glass. Its true form eluded me, but its deliberate approach was unmistakable. It was aware that I had seen it. In response, I hastened my pace, my body so numb that I lost sensation of the ground beneath me. Persistently cold and perspiring, I pressed on down the corridor. The thought echoed. Almost there. All I needed was to reach the office and seek refuge beneath the desk. I beseeched God for a resolution, directing my prayers to anyone willing to lend an ear at that moment. Fear had transformed into something far more profound by then. I moved mechanically, driven solely by the desire to endure this nightmarish ordeal. As I approached the door, a peculiar calm overcame my fear. It was as if I operated like a robot, focused solely on surviving until the nightmare's conclusion. Finally reaching the door, I discerned her presence right behind me. Hastening around the corner, I entered the office, closed the door, and obediently took refuge beneath the table. Following instructions, I turned my face to the wall and awaited events. Despite a prolonged period of silence, the awareness of its lingering presence persisted. I stood there, stupefied and terrified, with the unnerving thought that my very soul might surrender and depart. After a few more tense seconds, the office door unexpectedly swung open. Was it activated? I searched the instructions in vain. What was my course of action? Instructions. The unsettling revelation hit me. I no longer possessed them. Had I misplaced them? Did they slip from my grasp? Now what? Then it materialized, an evident drop in the room's temperature accompanying its presence. What classification of being was this? A demon? A monstrous entity? Regardless, it defied the established rules. It sought me out. In that moment, tears overwhelmed me. Initially, I attempted to contain myself, but fear conquered any semblance of restraint. I became immobilized, my surroundings morphing into a blurry haze, and the onset of unconsciousness felt imminent. Then, I heard its departure, and the subsequent closing of the door. The desire to release a colossal sigh of relief crossed my mind, but I refrained. My focus shifted to the other door. A moment later, it too closed, self-locking with a decisive click. Overwhelmed, I relinquished composure, tears streaming down my face, and my breaths came in rapid succession. Glancing at my watch, I noted it was 6:23. Just 7 minutes remained until 6:30, the moment I could finally depart. Until then, I opted to remain concealed beneath the table. As the clock struck 6:30, readiness to escape surged within me. Opening the office door, I sprinted towards the main entrance, nearly running to secure the gate. Once outside, I locked it behind me and hurried to my car. The engine roared to life, and a sense of safety enveloped me. Disregarding the given instructions, I succumbed to the urge to glance back at the building, only to freeze, gripped by fear. The creature stood in the doorway, its gaze fixed on me. In a panic, I slammed on the gas and sped home. The following day, I tendered my resignation. It's been several weeks since that unsettling night, and although I've secured another job, I can't shake the lingering unease. Occasionally, it seems as if it's still trailing me when I navigate through my home. Reflecting on it, the realization lingers. I shouldn't have looked back, and I am resolved never to repeat that mistake.